Hello and welcome to Liberated Tester podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. I am Gunesh Patil. On this show, we uncover secrets to the right mindset and skills to help you succeed in your software testing profession. Hello. Today's episode is going to be about Liberated Tester. Yes, you heard it right. It's going to be about the Liberated Tester, how the name came out to be, what's the origin story of Liberated Tester. I sincerely thank Melissa for doing this. Before recording her episode, we got into this discussion and then this interesting episode came out to be. It's a very short one. It's only 5 minutes. So if you like this episode, can I ask you to do one thing for me? Please subscribe and share it with your friends and colleagues so that whenever a new episode is in, I could reach you directly with all the great insights from the great minds in software testing. Let's roll it in.
Before we start,
Yeah.
asking questions to me,
Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple of questions that I'd like to ask you. Are
Okay,
you okay with
sure.
that? Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yeah, that's a
Um,
new one. Yeah, sure.
yeah. Um, well, first of all, can you introduce yourself and say a bit about you to start with?
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm Gunesh Patil. I'm currently working with a startup in Bangalore here. We are into customer experience automation, and I lead all the test automation efforts in the company. So I'm leading all the frameworks, all the regressions and everything, the automation side of it. Most of my part goes into actually getting some new ideas, doing some new work, evaluating other aspects of improvement in the current processes. So I personally like to deal with such kind of areas where I can have some improvements in the existing processes. So a couple of things that we did in this year is we brought down the execution time of our overall regression suite from 8 hours to 3 hours, and
Wow,
yeah,
that's incredible.
yeah, and we also added 1,000 more cases to the regression. So earlier it used to have like 2,200 cases in 8 hours, and now it's 3,600 cases in 3 hours. So yeah, that's one of the things that we are really proud of at the company that we achieved this year. About the podcast, well, it came out mostly kind of in a random sense.
Okay.
I did try a bit of things with the blogging and some memes. If you see my Instagram or LinkedIn of the Liberated Tester, they're filled with memes in the very beginning. So I started with memes earlier, but then again, I was it was not how do they say that it was not a sustainable thing. I was not really enjoying that thing. So one fine day, an ad showed up in Insta about one of the programs for the podcasting, and I said, why not? So yeah, I mean that's where it started. Then I was the only one doing the tech podcast in that whole group. All others were like self help or health and fitness and all these things. So yeah, I was the only one doing the tech podcast. So we had a month long challenge where we had to launch our podcast in that whole 4 weeks. So that was really intense. It was really a very good and a very different experience for me. I never thought podcast would be kind of a medium that I would enjoy. But yeah,
Yeah.
so far so good. Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah, I wanted to, really ask those questions to understand like what inspired you to start this podcast. And what I really love is the name,
Yeah.
Liberated Tester. So can you talk a bit about where that name came from and what it means to you for this podcast?
Oh, okay. So the name, I did try a bit of few names earlier. It it comes from mostly from the style that I work on projects with. I'm not really a person whom you say, okay, this is how it works and this is how it's going to be. That's, if somebody says that to me, I don't, I definitely see that there is some gaps in that particular thing. So if
Mhm.
somebody comes and say, oh no, this is how it works, you can't go beyond this, then that's my cue to get on and see for the new changes. So that's
Right.
that's
Okay.
how that's how it came up to be. I tried a bit few other names like mindful testing and some other variations of this, but the liberated word really stuck with me. It really made sense to myself from the way I execute things. So I don't really count the bounds which are there. I try to
Mhm.
go beyond them whenever I start looking at any new things. Same thing happened when I joined this new organization as well. So people were like, oh, it executes always in 8 hours. I said, no, that's not how it's going to be. There are ways to improve, and we'll improve, and we proved it. So we are now doing it in 3 hours. So so yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much how that liberated thing came up. I'm a big fan of thesaurus and other things. So I whatever whenever I find something, I just put it in the thesaurus, and then whatever alternate things and which comes out to be. So it came as as part of that process of looking for alternate words of mindful or freeness, or in that synonyms, right? So yeah, it came up as part of that process actually.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting understanding your background and, you're getting involved in the testing community and really helping to empower other testers. And I just find that really inspiring. So, yeah, thank you for sharing a little bit about that. That was really interesting to hear.
Yeah, thank you for asking this. This is the first time someone, I'm on the other side of this. So I it feels very good that someone is interested in knowing the journey for me. Yeah, thank you for this. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all. I think these things do take a lot of work. They're on top of your day job. Obviously, you've got stuff outside of work. So I think really kudos to you. And yeah, I'm always interested in why people are doing stuff and people's background.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, we will. The credit also goes to the family, so they have been really supportive in the whole journey. Because I'm always like, no,
wonderful.
I have to do the editing, I have to do this, I have to do that. Family has a very big support in this as well. So yeah, because otherwise it wouldn't have been possible, because juggling too many things takes a toll. So yeah, that
Yeah,
support is very
I,
crucial. Yeah.
I really understand what you're saying. As I'm here with you today. Yeah, my husband is looking after our two children in the other room and making sure they don't come in. So
Yeah.
having supportive family or friends
Yes,
around is
yes.
really important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with that one. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you found it useful. If you did learn something new today, please follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and also share, rate, subscribe to the podcast so that you get the notifications for the new episodes as and when they're launched. Thank you for being here. It really means a lot to me. Until we meet again, it's a goodbye from my side. Take care and be in great health. Thank you.